From Cornwall to Birmingham and Johnston and Bexhill, here's Ruben Spire on the radio.
Hello to Emily Myers. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Thank you for letting me chat to you today. So, can you tell me how long have you been a singer-songwriter for?
I've been doing music since I was a little girl. It's something that's always been part of my life. But I moved to Nashville to officially start pursuing life as a songwriter about 4 years ago.
So, what was it like going into the recording studio when you first released your single back in 2020? What was that like?
I think the very first time I went to record, it was a great process. You're trying to figure out what's your sound and who you are and how to take these songs that you wrote with your friends and in your room and how to translate that to something that people are going to want to hear. And that really is the entire recording process. And I find it really, really rewarding to see just the transformation of a song, to take it from something that's just a guitar and a vocal, and it can become whatever you want it to be in the studio.
So, can you tell me more about your debut single called Bare Feet?
Sure. I wrote that song with the hopes. I remember growing up, I grew up in Missouri, and I remember anytime I had a bad day at school as I was a kid, I would come home, I would turn my stereo on as loud as I could, and I would dance and I would sing, and it would always make me feel better. And so, as my very first song that I wanted to put in the world, I really wanted something that I could give back to other people in that way. Something that was just fun, something that was upbeat, something that said, when your world feels really dark, if you turn this song on and turn it up, it'll turn your day around. And that's really the heart behind that song.
So, can you tell me more about Wallflower?
Yeah. Wallflower was written for my grandmother. My grandma used to always say that she was a wallflower in life, that she never really wanted to take a risk. And yet she is a wonderful person and a beautiful person. And it was always a lesson that she gave us growing up, not to be a wallflower, to chase your dreams, to run after what you really want in life. And that's really the heart behind that song. It's a lesson that she taught me, and I wanted to pass on to other people.
So, where did you get your inspiration for songwriting?
I'm really inspired right now. I mean, there are so many people, but I really am inspired a lot by Bonnie Raitt and Brandi Carlile, Tenille Townes, Casey Musgraves, women who really put the storytelling at the forefront of what they do. I think that has always been what I love, is sharing stories and sharing things that we've all been through. And I think those writers do it. They're some of the best people who do it. So I try and draw a lot of inspiration from them.
So, can you tell me more about I Ain't Gonna Be Mine?
Yeah. Ain't Gonna Be Mine was a funny song. I actually wrote it in the middle of a snowstorm. I was stuck in the house for a week and had this really funny idea of, you just ended a relationship, and I was kind of in the throes of trying to figure out my life without that person, and I just had this idea of like, it was such an empowering thing to say, that this person isn't going to hold me back. It's not going to hold anyone back. You get a chance to say in your life what's going to define you, and this bump in the road isn't going to be something that defines me. That's kind of the point of the song, and it's a fun anthem. It's empowering, and it's really fun to sing at shows. There's a part in the live show where I sing a section, everyone sings it back, and so we have a lot of fun with that one.
Does Christmas time bring a special place for time for you?
Yeah, I mean, I love Christmas. It's a beautiful time of the year. It's really, really wonderful for sure.
So, can you tell me more about the first Noel? It's a great Christmas song.
Yeah, I think that's just my favorite Christmas classic. So I wanted to give something to people for that season, and and so that was why we recorded it. We actually did a live version on YouTube, and so the audio that's on the streaming platforms is actually just the live version. And I recorded it with my fiance, which is really fun as well. He's a wonderful pianist, and so he helped arrange it, and so it's something we did together for the holidays.
So, can you tell me more about your the debut EP that released called On Right?
Yeah, I released that a little over a year ago. The title comes from the title track, Unwrite Every Song, which was kind of the idea of, our songs that we tell as songwriters are our stories in our life, the high moments and the low moments and everything in between. And it asks the question of, would you take it all back if that changed who you are today? And so each one of those songs is kind of an introduction to me and my music, kind of with that underlying thread for each of the songs. They're lessons that I've learned, they're stories that I've walked through, and I think a lot of them are things that other people will relate to as well.
So, can you tell me more about Olives?
Yeah, Olives. So I recorded a debut album, and Olives is the first single off of that album. It's a very fun, sassy song, has a lot of energy to it. And it's a joke, it's a metaphor. The hook of the song is skip the branch past the olives. It's kind of a joke that if someone does you wrong, I don't always need the apology. Sometimes it's better to just get a dirty martini. And so that's kind of the joke of the song. And that's kind of the joke on the surface, but underneath the surface, it's really an empowering song. It's a chance to say, you can make your own way forward, and you don't need someone to hold you back, is really what that song is all about.
So, can you tell me more about your latest single called Time to Say Goodbye?
Yeah, Time to Say Goodbye is the third single off the record. I love this song. It really is. It's a great summer song. It's got I think when I wrote the song, it was kind of pop. It had some R&B elements, and then some of that country flair that I do as a bass line. And so that's why I always love the song. It's an earworm for sure. That chorus just gets stuck in your head, and it's really, really fun to turn up and sing in the car. The point of the song is a list of reasons as to why you should maybe want to stick it out and work it out with someone you're in a relationship with. So I think if you're in a relationship, you go through these seasons where it's really hard and you wonder if you should walk away, if this is the right person. And the goal of the song was to say, well, if you still feel like this, if there's a choke in your throat when you think about leaving, if they're the first person you want to call at the end of your day, if you answer yes to those questions, then maybe you should stick it out, and maybe you should see if you can keep working on it. And that's the whole message of the song. But it's done in a very fun way. So
are you planning to release any more singles in the near future?
Yeah. So the debut album is 9 songs, and we're in the process. We're going to release a few more singles off of the record, and then the record will come out in the fall. So we're currently trying to figure out which of the songs will be next, but we'll be releasing one very soon, probably next month.
So have you put any plans to, is it just going to stream your album or put it on CD? Or any plans about that yet?
Yeah, so the whole album that comes out in the fall, we're going to put on vinyl, we're going to put on a CD. People will be able to get that music however they love to listen to it. I know I'm a records person myself. We do that here, so I want to be able to give that to people.
Well, I'm a CD person, so you can see what album I'll be buying, won't you?
Yes, I will definitely have a CD for you. I'll send it to you.
That's very kind of you. So can you tell me all about Nashville? What's the story about Nashville?
Yeah, so I grew up in Missouri, and Nashville it's just a mecca for songwriters. It's a place where I think people go not only to have a career, but also to be around like-minded people who live to be creative and live to write music. And so it was always kind of a dream for me to be here and to be making music in this community. And I felt like it was time for that step in my career to be here. And I also was ready to meet and to learn from the community that's here. And so it's been a really wonderful, wonderful journey. I've grown a lot. I've learned a lot. And it's been the best thing for me and my music to be here.
Because New Country is getting very popular in the UK. So I know you got some gigs coming up. So what kind of gigs you got coming up?
Well, we're looking at doing a tour. So we've been looking at traveling a lot in the States, through the Midwest and the South. And I've actually been thinking if I should come over to the UK. So, because I do know, I've heard so much from people that country music is really starting to grow in the UK, and people are really wanting that. I have a few friends who've gone over, and we have some music friends who are there who love gigging over there. So we've definitely been thinking about that as well.
Yeah, some great independent venues.
Yeah. I feel like I've had this conversation like 6 times in the last few weeks about how wonderful the venues are, and how much people are supportive of the artists, and I really want to check it out for myself.
I'll have to send you an email, because there's some venues not far from where I live, so they may take your interest.
I would love that. Yeah, we're literally booking dates right now, so I would love to see that.
So can you tell me, what's it like being an independent artist for you?
I think what I love about being independent is I'm able to have such a direct relationship with everybody who listens to my music. It's me reaching out, it's me talking to people. If there's something I see online that people really like, a song that they really like, I can make a decision to go into the studio tomorrow and get that recorded as fast as I can and get it to people. I think that's the best part, is you can really be boots on the ground. You can do stuff quickly. And you can do what feels true to you. I think that's the best part of being an independent artist. And I think you're just so aware of, when people support you, how much that means. I'm sure that means a lot on every level, but especially for the independent artist, we can't do what we do without people and their support. And so that's the best thing. I do wear a lot of hats. I'm the artist, but I wear a lot of other hats, as in terms of marketing and in terms of booking and some things like that. I have a manager and I have a team behind me, but it's still a lot of me running the ship. So that's kind of the world of an independent artist, and it's chaotic and it's exciting, and I love it.
So finally, can some listeners, where can I find you on your social media?
So everything is under Emily Myers Music. You can find me on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, everywhere on social media, and then I'm on all the streaming platforms as well.
Thank you. Let me chat to you today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. You too.
Goodbye. Goodbye.